Keeping financial control of construction projects prevents cost overruns and ensures that all resources are used efficiently. Today in Dangus, we're going to learn how to add expenses and keep track of them in detail. We're going to select a previously created project. A main menu will appear. We will go to the Expenses menu, either at the top, on the left side of the menu, or in the tab. Within the expense functions, we're going to start creating one. Click on the right side in the blue button. This is going to be the main information to create each of the movements that we have in our project. Here, it will ask us by whom that service or that material was received, whether at the site or in the office. And here, we're going to select which user it was paid by. It will only allow us to see the list of users that we have assigned to this project. In this part, we will define if the expense was paid or on credit. In the Payment Method tab, we're going to select the method used. Dangus will give you the basic options, but the advantage is that we can create our own payment methods, allowing us to customize it. Let's create one. You just have to name it. And there you go. This way, you will be able to know how much money is spent from each account your company has. Then, enter the date on which the expense was made. These three tabs allowed us to assign the expense to some task. It will not always be necessary since the expense may be of the project in general. But if you're looking to separate the expenses by tasks, such as foundation, framing, finishes, etc., you can also do it this way. If this expense is part of the overall project, it's not necessary to select any sub-project, but you can do so if you wish. We can also select the client, collaborator, or supplier who provide the service or sold the product that generated this expense. Here we will place the concept of the expense that we are entering. Next, we will select the category to which this expense belongs. If you have not yet defined it, you can create it here with the plus symbol. This way, we can assign the expense to its category. Here, we will place the total cost of the expense. In the description, we can write all of the characteristics we want about the expense. And finally, we can upload a file, whether it is an image of the ticket, the transfer receipt, or any document you have to prove the expense. And well, when we have completed the expense information, we click on Create. In this way, we will be able to view the expenses in their respective categories through pie charts. We will be able to see the budget that we assigned when we created the project, the amounts paid, and the amounts of credit. At the bottom, we will see the list of recorded expenses. In the 3 points to the right of each expense, we can replicate, manage, or view the expense. When replicating, it will create a copy of that expense. This is an option when you have similar expenses, and so you only need to change information such as the date and the amount, for example. Let's save the changes, and we have a new expense. If we want to indicate that it was an expense made on credit, the expenses paid and the expenses that are owed will appear on our main menu, as well as a percentage of what we have expended according to the budget we have assigned. If you want to make a payment to a credit, we will go to Manage the Expense, and then, in the lower part, we can generate a payment on credit. Once inside the creation of a payment on credit, we can select which user or contact is going to make this contribution to the credit. You can select if it is a percentage, and it will automatically generate the amount, or if it is the entire credit. You can upload the file if you wish and click on Create. Here, we will get the breakdown of how much was on credit, how much is already paid, and how much we left to pay. When we return to the list, we will have the information for each movement.